Down in the place to be. Forget your cares and more, most definitely.
What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at a Star Wars Black series, which is not uncommon for my channel, but we're going to be doing a modification video as well, because this figure is just not fucking cutting it for me. Maybe it is for you, but I think that it is very lackluster and to definitely use a lot more to it. Please excuse my fingernail, or like my fingers and nails, for having ink on them. I was just finishing up a Black Panther custom tutorial video kind of thing, so go check that out. I don't know which one's coming first, but stay tuned. I'll probably put the Black Panther video up first, but yeah, the packaging looks awesome. Look at how cool that is, right? He looks big, badass. There's a nice cool read up for him, and then look at this derpy ass toy. Like, don't even get me started. We're gonna talk about it. The packaging looks awesome here. I kind of just really like this Black Krrsantan artwork. I think it looks super sick. My box is kind of messed up, but I don't really care. You get this awesome gun that he doesn't fucking come with, but I think I have a gun that would subdue for that. On the side, you get Black Krrsantan. This is like the specialty series kind of stuff, where it's like only exclusive to, you know, like comic book stores and things like that. GameStop will probably get it eventually. I like how all the blurbs are just, you know, like the Wookiee. But if you're looking for this, here's the barcode. I don't know if that's going to help you at all, maybe when it hits GameStop. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what we get with the figure and then how I would improve it. So getting Black Krrsantan out of the package. Man, Hasbro. Sometimes you guys knock it out of the park. And then other times you give a shit like this. This is pretty bad in a lot of regards. First of all, every joint on him is stiff. He barely wants to move, and it's very frustrating. So he barely wants to move. The head does barely nothing, and we'll talk more about articulation in a little bit, but the plastic is so dense and hard that, like, it barely can even swivel. So I'll talk about that more with articulation, but he just looks, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paint apps. You know, the eyes are one, then the scar, the mouth, and the hair. That is it. Nothing else. None on the accessory, neither. Which, again, he doesn't come with the right accessory, but I think I can improve that. So, whatever. Let's just look at what we got here. So, taking a look at the head sculpt here. Not very nice. It looks huge for the body. It should be way smaller than that. I mean, I threw the box out, but looking at the art on the box, he's got big, broad shoulders and a smaller head and muscular. This looks nothing like him. This body works relatively for a Chewbacca, but not for Krrsantan, and it's just lazy. The legs could have worked, maybe the lower torso, but he needed a new upper torso, new arms, and the head. It looks fine, relatively speaking, with the sculpt and the paint apps on there, but it's just too big. Now, the biggest glaring issue for this, at least for me, is the fact that there is no paint on this harness thing. It just looks like a cheap piece of plastic. I hate the color that they use. There's so much detail sculpted in that you don't get to see because of how cheap it looks. So I'm going to be trying to fix that. That's going to be one of the things that I do. And then the body has no paint on it. The hands don't have a different color, neither do the feet on the skin, like the skin on the feet. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I recently picked up that Warrior Wookiee thing from the Gaming Greats line. I got it for $5 because it was $10 with clearance. Like, it was like $19.99, and it came to $10 because they had like the 50% off at GameStop, and then I had my $5 for the month. So I wouldn't have paid more than $5 for that figure, but even that had paint on the feet, on the hands, a little bit of dry brush. This has nothing. This has absolutely nothing, and he's stiff as shit. Like, I can barely move that thigh swivel, but I don't know. I just don't like the way that it looks, because the sculpt is fine for the most part. I just wish that his shoulders were broader to fit. Like, look at how much space there is in between these gaps here and these shoulder pads. I can get my whole finger in there. Fill that with a nice big shoulder ball joint, right? With like a butterfly, and have that go on there. And that would be so much cooler. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead. I mean, this is pretty much all we got so far. I'm going to go over articulation now, because anything I'm going to do isn't going to change the articulation. I'm not going that in depth with it. The head doesn't really do anything. Like, literally nothing. Yeah, it's really not going to do anything. Shoulders will move up that far, down, rotate just forward and back because of the shoulder pad. Single jointed elbow, that sucks ass. That barely gets 90, doesn't get 90. Swivels, and then the wrists swivel and hinge. The torso has a joint here and a joint there, but even with that, it crunches only that far forward and arcs that far back, side to side, and then rotates at the top. And he does have a waist twist as well. The hips will go out that far, which is pretty pointless. He'll kick forward, back, pivot up here, swivel, I mean. And then just, it doesn't really bother me that much, but look at that. That's terrible. That is so lazy. Single jointed knee, that does get a little past 90, so that's fine. It does rotate at the knee, and then the ankle barely does anything neither. It'll go down, up, and pivot. But luckily his feet are big, so it's not hard for him to stand even though they barely move. And then as far as accessories he does come with, you do get the fucking crossbow that every Wookiee ever has to come with, apparently, even though he has specific weapons for him. But the cool thing about this one, I guess, is that you can, like, put it on his back. I'm not exactly sure how it's supposed to go. Like, I don't really know what the intention for this was. But, like, I do want it on his back. Like, in the art on the box. So, I don't really know, to be honest. Because I thought this would go there, but then there's only one slot. So, like, do I only get to put one thing on there? Like, that's kind of stupid. But anyway, I'll figure that out later. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and break down what I would do to improve this and show you guys how to go ahead and do so. So here is my final product for the updates on my Black Krrsantan. It was really simple. It took me like maybe 20 minutes. And the only thing that I don't know if you'll be able to do is give him this gun, because I don't know where this gun came from. I just had it for a long time and it looks like the one that he has on the package. So that's good enough for me. But for now, we'll take that away. I went ahead and put the silver dry brush on the gun. Doesn't look perfect, but it definitely adds something to it. I also glued the thing like for the crossbow on there, just because I think it looks better. I went ahead and did a wash on the armor piece, I guess, so to speak, just because I think it needed paint. It looked weird without paint. It just looked like stupid dull plastic. And then I put some silver dry brushing on it as well. As far as the fur, obviously you can see that I went ahead and did a dry brush across the whole thing. I did also paint the hands and the toes a little bit of a lighter gray, black, whatever. And then towards the bottom of the feet, I did a brown dry brush along that as well, along as more on the elbows and a little bit across the body, but for the most part not everywhere. I painted the back dreads. I didn't go ahead and put gold on them yet. I just don't have gold paint, so maybe I'll do it eventually. I think the wash looks good in certain places, but I really like the way that the dry brush took. All I did was get a dry, like a light gray, and just beat it, I guess, so to speak, and then lightly go over the whole thing, and I think that it definitely worked. And then I sprayed it with a coat of matte finish, and boom, there you go, updated Black Krrsantan. Now, is this perfect? No. Taking the harness off makes his head look even bigger, which blows my mind, because his head is fucking huge, but like as is. But then taking off the harness makes it even worse. And then, like I said, I had this gun. I want to paint the gun a little bit, like put a little bit of blue in there, but for right now I don't feel like doing that, and this is just going to go on the shelf and then in a bin for a while. So, you know, what are you going to do? But I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. It's crazy what a little paint can do. It took, like I said, maybe half an hour total. Other than like the paint drying or whatever, it really did not take long. So I'm very happy with the way that this turned out. Before this, I would give this like a rating of like 3 out of 10. It's bad. Other than a cool character and a new cool sculpt for the harness, it's a shit figure. But after my updates, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I'm going to give it an 8. I still think that the sculpt sucks in terms of Black Krrsantan. Bigger shoulders, smaller head. Better articulation in the arms. I want him like posted with the gun, but I can't fucking do that because the articulation doesn't let me. But whatever. I digress. What are you going to do? So let me know how I did. I really like the way that it turned out. Jacob still says that it's not good enough for him. Because he's a hating ass bitch. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So without further ado, I believe that's all I got for today. So if you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I have a lot of fun over there, and I'm sure you all will too. But again, I really am interested to know how you guys think I did, and I would like to know if you guys are going to do this too. It really does amp your figure, so if you want a better Black Krrsantan, this is a way to do it. Maybe not the way, but a way. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So, as always, let me know. You copping this guy with or without mods? I really want to know. Will you cop them if, you know, you did my mod? Who knows? But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.